you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Citi News.
It's midday. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to Citi Prime News live from our studio at number 11, Dr. Martin Loop in Adabraka, Accra. My name is Adjuatin Krama Domna. This afternoon, I'm here with
Charles Owusukwumi.
Coming up, NPP cautions parliamentary candidate aspirants against camping of delegates ahead of Saturday's primaries.
Everyone should be allowed to feel free to walk out from his house or her house to come to the polling center to cast his or her vote without any person influencing the said delegate. It's of this belief that we have made a statement that no one should camp delegates at any place.
Meanwhile, some party supporters in Asini-Manso Akroso are threatening to push one of the aspirants to contest as independent if the party does not change its venue for the polls. Also coming up, Black Stars to later tonight engage in a do-or-die affair with Mozambique in the last group game in the ongoing Africa Cup of Nations.
Players, and I think most people appreciate that the level of performance in our game against Egypt was better than our level of performance in our first game with Cape Verde. So the players know what it will take to get a result. There are no easy games in this tournament.
Still ahead, danger looms as Ghana Water Company Limited admits that Accra's population has outgrown its production capacity.
The volume of water we produce, the population has outgrown that. And we've been on putting up a new system in Pong.
And later, National Labour Commission to engage leadership of Senior Staff Association and Federation of University Senior Staff to find lasting solution to their ongoing strike.
We are meeting them on the 24th. We are bringing on board the Ministry of Employment, which of course oversees pensions, the Ministry of Education and JTech, which is also in charge of tertiary education in Ghana.
The news is live on Facebook on Citi 97.3 FM and also live on all our partner stations across the country. In the Western region, we're on Premier 100.5 FM in Takoradi Beach, 10.5 FM, also in Takoradi. In Bunu region, we're on Greener 95.9 FM in Sunyai. In Ashanti region, find us on Orange 107.9 FM in Kumasi. In the Volta region, Naflao, we're on Holy 98.5 FM. In the Northern region, Dasuna 99.1 FM. In the Upper East region, Word 88.3 FM. Zuarungu, and in the Upper West region, we're on Bugli Radio 88.6 FM. And wow. Let's settle for details of our stories.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Thank you so much for your company. We begin with water issues. Now, the managing director of the Ghana Water Company Limited, Dr. Clifford Brimer, has disclosed that the population of Accra has exceeded the production capacity of the company. This revelation follows complaints from water consumers in Accra, including neighborhoods like Adenta Komando, Awoshi, Kaswa Abom, Opekuma, West Legon, Tetegu, Lakeside, Amanfro, Oyarifa, Teshi, La, and Colegon regarding erratic water supply spanning weeks or months. And speaking on Citi Breakfast Show this morning, Dr. Brimer acknowledged the existing water rationing schedule and assured consumers that the main challenge causing erratic supply has been resolved with improved water flow expected by the upcoming weekend.
There was less supply because we noticed after this and that some of the water that gets into the treatment had reduced. So the volume of water we're pushing into the system also reduced automatically.
And are you saying this morning that challenge has been resolved?
The challenge has been resolved. So now we are pushing the water and it's getting to the places. So within the shortest possible time, people should.
So for those who have not had water for 3 months, by when should they expect that their water will start flowing regularly?
So by this weekend, if they are not getting it, they have to go to the regional offices and district office. And you see, our numbers are all over. And so when you go to the district and you are not getting attention, escalate it to the region. The regional chief managers, hardworking, ready to
Fair enough.
support.
Are you doing?
So if it's not, you get to me, Bernard.
Are you doing water rationing in Koforidua?
Koforidua had their problems also because of production line, and also Koforidua is getting water from different areas, and some of the places are also prone, and so the volumes that were supposed to be discharging into the system are limited. I keep saying.
So, are you doing water rationing in Koforidua?
Yes, because if the volume is not enough, you have to apportion the places.
Right.
And then
so is there is there a water rationing schedule that the public can follow?
Everybody, that's what people know.
Know their schedule.
Yes, they do.
Is there a rationing schedule for Accra?
Yeah, Accra, everybody knows that.
So you don't need to publish it. Everybody knows.
No, they already know. These are issues that are local based, so they are already known. That's why people tell you that I used to get 3 times in a week, but now I don't get.
Dr. Clifford Brymer also notes that resource constraints pose challenges to expanding the company's capacity.
Already, Accra, the volume of water we produce, the population has outgrown that. And we've been on putting up a new system in Pong to boost our production. But the resource constraint has been a problem. I think since 2017, 2018, we've been working on, and we haven't settled on finances. So already, if you have a limited volume of water coming into the system and your population is big, you have to block the place and supply them according to the demands of the people. But you can't give everybody at the same time, otherwise some will not get. And so we have been limited for a very long time. Ghana Water is an old company, and in the past, I think we just considered water as something that we need to support life. But we did not look at what we need to do to continue to run the system efficiently.
You heard the managing director of the Ghana Water Company Limited, Dr. Clifford Brymer. Let's bring you some other stories now. An immigration officer, Isaac Opon Station at the Holuta-Klave border in the Ho West District, has been remanded into prison custody by the Ho Magistrate Court. He faces accusations related to the killing of a 25-year-old motor rider, Christian Dake, who was allegedly smuggling cooking oil through an unauthorized route. The court heard that Officer Opon instructed the deceased to stop, but he fled, leading to a chase. During the arrest, a struggle occurred, resulting in the accidental discharge of the suspect's firearm, leading to the death of the motor rider. Despite a plea for the suspect's remand at the immigration headquarters in Accra, the court denied the request, citing the need for a smooth investigation. The case is adjourned to March 19th, and the family or the suspect remains in prison custody in Ho. The deceased family expresses dissatisfaction with the case's handling. Pascal Newton speaks for the family.
Once the issue is in court now, I wouldn't want to go further, but from the family side, we are not happy about the way the immigration people are handling the case. They are not regarding us, and that is something that we are so much worried about. That is why we are also bent on pursuing the case further. You understand? Pursuing the case further. That is the stand of the family. We are not going to rely at all, because this boy, Christian, is having children behind. He's having about 5 or 6 children. You understand? So who is going to take care of the kids? The mother is fairly old, and the father is, a common taxi driver. Who is going to take care of the kids? So we are not happy about the situation at all. And I would advise the immigration people over there to also kind of be professional, a little bit professional in the conduct of their work. Their conduct at the border is not something that is encouraging. We need to advise them. Their leadership need to talk to them and bring them to order. Else, these are some of the things that will be happening at the border over there.
You heard a spokesperson for the deceased family, Pascal Newton. From the courts, let's do some issues on labor. Now, the Senior Staff Association of Public Universities in Ghana has clarified media reportage that it failed to meet the National Labour Commission. This follows reports from some media houses that the SSAUOG refused to meet NLC when it extended an invitation via a letter. In an interview with Citi News, the national chairman of SSAUOG, Isaac Donko, mentioned its readiness to meet the National Labour Commission over discussions on its demands.
There's a media reportage going on that the National Labour Commission sent an invitation to us to appear before them on Thursday, and we refused to attend. And I want to get it on record that that reportage is wrong. It is wrongly reported. Yes, we received their invitation, but the invitation came very late. Before we got the invitation, we've also scheduled our emergency NEC meeting, of which we have to attend. So we wrote back to them requesting for extension of time. So we requested that we'll be happy if they can grant us permission to meet them coming Wednesday, the 24th of January 2024, of which they receive, even though you are yet to get a response from them, whether our letter has been accepted or not, we are yet to hear from them.
Meanwhile, the national chairman, Isaac Donko, stated emphatically that the industrial action would continue until further notice.
Yes, the strike is still in full session. We are continuing from Monday going, as we stated earlier in our communique. This strike, all staff are on board. We are not exempting anybody from this strike.
That was the national chairman of the Senior Staff Association of Public Universities in Ghana, Isaac Donko. Will stay with Labour. Now, the National Labour Commission has announced plans to engage with leadership of the Senior Staff Association and the Federation of Universities Senior Staff regarding their ongoing strike. The unions initiated a strike last Wednesday, citing the government's failure to address concerns related to pensions and the alleged wrongful cancellation of their overtime allowances. Executive Secretary of the Commission, Ofosu Asamoah, states that a decision will be determined following the outcome of the meeting.
They have raised two concerns: their overtime allowance, which they say has been taken away, part of them, or reviewed downward by the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission without consulting with them. And the second one is that their pensions have not been paid for the past 10 months, even though the deductions have been made. The money has not reached the fund manager. So we are bringing on board the Ministry of Employment, which of course oversees pensions, the National Pensions Authority, and then whose mandate is to take care of this tier 2 thing. And then the Ministry of Education and JTech, which is also in charge of tertiary education in Ghana, so that they will answer the questions or concerns that have been raised, and then the commission can look at it and make a pronouncement. I mean, as I talk to you, there are still consultations going on with them, because for them to call off the strike. After the meeting is settled, but we wish we could call off the strike earlier than what's expected, because we are aware the continuing students are writing their exams, fresh students are registering, and those who completed to be having their graduation by this weekend. The whole of this is scheduled for graduation. So their continuous strike is really going to disrupt academic program. That's it.
You heard Executive Secretary of the National Labour Commission, Ofosu Asamoah. But Charles, there is another meeting between the GPRT and the Transport Ministry. Tell us about it.
The Ghana Private Road Transport Union is expressing hope for a productive meeting with the Transport Ministry on January 23, following their decision to increase transport fares by 20%. The union has already instructed its members to hold on with a planned fare increase ahead of the meeting. In an interview with Citi News, the Industrial Relations Officer of the union, Abasi Moro, states they will approach the meeting with the Transport Ministry with an open mind.
The Transport Ministry has invited our leadership tomorrow. So we came out to communicate, advising our people to hold on till we have met with them, then the outcome, make the outcome known to all. don't expect anything until we've gone there. Because they have invited us, and we don't know. Maybe they are going to add some percentage to what we came up with. We don't know. Unless we attend the meeting, and whatever happens there will come out with it.
That was the Industrial Relations Officer of the Ghana Private Road Transport Union, Abbas Imoro. In some other news, the Mobile Money Agents Association of Ghana is expressing concern over the alleged harassment of some mobile money agents. The association deems the continuous arrest of its members over fraudulent activities by others as unfair. Speaking to Citi News, the president of the Mobile Money Association of Ghana, Dela Abochi, assessed the association's commitment to ensuring justice for these agents.
In regards to how our members are being arrested left and right. And there is one particular issue that we are monitoring closely. One of our members was arrested in Tema Community 5 and sent to Port Harbour Police Station. And he was transferred from Port Harbour Police Station to Akosombo, where he slept in for 2 days. And what the crime or what wrong he has done was somebody came to withdraw a fraudulent money at his end, which he wasn't aware. Our member, he said he wasn't aware that the person was withdrawing a fraudulent money. And on that basis, he was arrested and put in a cell for 2 days. And he was made to pay the money, which is in the range of 8,000. And all his phones has been confiscated. Currently, even in spite of paying the 8,000, his phones, everything has still been confiscated, and he has to pay a bill of 1,500 cedis to the police equally. So these are issues that we are pursuing gradually.
Additionally, the association plans to convene a consultative meeting with stakeholders to discuss their recent decision to cap cash withdrawals at a maximum of 1,000 cedis per transaction, following a meeting with the telecommunication networks last week.
We had that meeting. So it is now left with us as an association. Bear in mind that we came together and then signed that an agreement or that strike industrial action together. So it hasn't bordered on only Mark, which is a Mobile Money Agents Association of Ghana, to unilaterally decide to go out to make a public statement to our customers, our cherished agents, and then our partners. So swiftly have a meeting and then decide the next line of action to be taken. That is what I can tell you for now. We had a meeting together. All the four associations were on board, and then they told us what they intend doing in the some few months ahead of us. So on that basis, we'll go back to our drawing room, or we'll go back to have a caucus with the four associations, and we'll decide the next line of action to take.
That was the president of the Mobile Money Agents Association of Ghana, Dela Abochi.
Now, away from that, the Teacher Trainees Association of Ghana has acknowledged the payment of the allowance, which had been in arrears for 4 months. The teacher trainees, facing delays since last year, expressed hardships in terms of feeding and purchasing teaching materials. TTAG President Japhet Nana Kwame commends the government for addressing the issue.
With the allowance, we had arrears from the last academic year. And just last week, students received the arrears. That is 2 months. Actually, we were expecting 4 months. That was the expectation of trainees. But we were made aware of some changes that had been made with respect to the number of days we spent in academic year, which resulted in a 6 month payment. So we had earlier on received 4 months, and just last week 2 months came for the last academic year. We look forward to seeing the government do more of what we experienced last year. By this, we take the opportunity to also thank the government and all the stakeholders for their relentless effort, making sure that trainees get what they deserve.
You had Japhet Nana Kwame, who is the president of the Teacher Trainees Association of Ghana. Charles, you have some more stories.
Yeah. The Ghana Chamber of Construction Industry is accusing the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority of deliberate high port charges, making local cement manufacturing unfavorable. The industry calls on Trade Minister Katie Hammond to bring the authority's management to Parliament for scrutiny on excessive charges for clinker importation. CEO of the chamber, Emmanuel Cherry, states in an interview with Citi News that these high port charges are undermining the cement manufacturing business.
The people, the manufacturers are crying that Gapoha is excessively overcharging them. So that is where the minister must channel his energy to. Call Gapoha, hold them to cabinet, ask questions. If it's indeed the directives from cabinet or government's policy for them to go by that, the people are now saying that it's becoming too hot for them to handle. So then the same government must sit and then find a way to relax the system for them. But until then, either they publish the list of prices or not, it's not going nowhere. It's not going to solve the problem. The challenge before them is about the forex, the exchange rates. Number 3, the interest rate in the various banks. How much is it today? Now, let our, counterparts start bringing their goods right now. Can you control it? Our local market is going to collapse.
Emmanuel Cherry is the Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Chamber of Construction Industry.
Away from that, the Forestry Commission in the Bibiani Forest Reserve is taking steps to protect the area from ongoing destruction by illegal miners. Approximately 8 forest reserves in Bibiani face threats due to these activities. Now, District Manager of the Bibiani Forest Reserve, Kobina Baden, says 2 individuals were arrested during a swoop by the Rapid Response Task Force. The 2 will be arraigned next week.
The cases with the police arranging for suspects arrested to be sent to court.
When were these suspects picked up?
I have just been here for about a week, and my predecessor, together with the regional manager and the rapid response team, I think around December, in the last week of December 2023. Last week, I went on a familiarization tour of some of the reserves. In fact, that specific reserve, I went there. I went to East Forest Reserve. And fortunately, after the operation in December, the miners are not back. And just arrested 2 guys who were there with pumping machines and doing their small things. But fortunately, we were able to arrest them as well. And are in the police pending prosecutions at the court. My visit, we sat with the opinion leaders in the community and informed them that they are part of the forest management. We do collaboration now, so they should assist us with information, timely information, such that as soon as they see some of these miners around, they inform us and we quickly act. But for now, my guys are on the ground and seriously monitoring events there.
That is the district manager of the Bibiani Forest Reserve, Kobina Baden. Now, the National Commission on Small Arms and Light Weapons is expressing deep concerns over the hindrance of its planned sensitization exercise in conflict-ridden areas, including Boko. The recent clashes in Boko, claiming at least 5 lives, have led to forceful closure of businesses and increased the proliferation of illicit weapons. Deputy Director in charge of Policy Planning, Monitoring and Evaluation at the Commission, Jebi Asante, emphasizes the need for a comprehensive approach to tackle the issue.
The Boko situation, as it is, it's something that I think we all need to see how we can support the initiative that Utumfo started some years back. And whatever government is doing, I think everybody should come on board and make sure that we help to bring the situation down. We want to establish an office in Boko, so that we can carry out some activities. But businesses are closing down because of this conflict. So how do we even go to the local community to play any role there? It's difficult. But as we speak, we have an officer who's based at Bolga and is overseeing Boko. We plan going there to carry out some sensitization programs, for the people, engaging schools, engaging women groups, youth groups, and all that, to sensitize them about the impact of what is going on. But as we speak, how will we be able to do that now that it has become a serious security zone? So these are the challenges that gun conflict, come with. And I think all of us should try as much as possible to make sure that we don't let the situation escalate.
That was Deputy Director in charge of Policy Planning, Monitoring and Evaluation for the National Commission on Small Arms and Light Weapons, JB Asante. You're still listening to the Citi Prime News on Citi 97.3 FM. Still ahead, Black Stars to later tonight engage in what many have described as a do-or-die affair with Mozambique in the ongoing Africa Cup of Nations. Please stay with us.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Embark on an unforgettable road trip across 14 diverse and vibrant regions of Ghana in just 8 days on the Heritage Caravan 2024. Get ready to immerse yourself in the rich culture, breathtaking landscapes, and the warm heritage-laced hospitality Ghana has to offer. From the Greater Accra region to the Volta region, to the Eastern region, to the Bono region, Ahafo region, Bono East region, to the Upper East region, to the Northern region, to the Savannah region, to the Northeast region, to the Ashanti region, to the Western North region, the Western region, the Central region, and back to the Greater Accra region. The Heritage Caravan will last for 8 days from Sunday the 3rd of March to Sunday the 10th of March 2024. An expedition full of excitement, education, information, wonderful memories, and great bonding moments awaits you. Call 0205 973 973 to register for the Heritage Caravan 2024 now. This is a journey of a lifetime to discover Ghana. The Heritage Caravan 2024 is powered by Citi TV with support from 97.3 Citi FM. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, Opeyin, what is this I'm hearing about some economic census?
Yes, the Ghana Statistical Service is conducting a nationwide census of all businesses called the Integrated Business Establishment Survey, popularly known as IBIS.
A census of businesses? What is that for?
Well, for businesses to grow, they will need data on all business activities for decision making to enhance their profitability.
Hey, so does it mean my top bar is part of this exercise?
Of course it is. All businesses, whether for profits or non-profits, are included.
Okay, but won't my personal information be disclosed?
Not at all. Data collected will be kept confidential and used solely for statistical purposes, so your individual information is well protected.
Really? So when is it starting and how can I help?
This exercise will begin in January 2024. Help by giving the right information to the field staff who will be visiting your business.
Remember, support GSS to provide you with the right data for your business growth and national development. 2024 IBIS, data for prudent business decisions.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
You're welcome back. Let's bring you some sports stories. Now, the Black Stars of Ghana are set to face the Mambas of Mozambique in the decisive Group B clash at the 2023 AFCON in Cote d'Ivoire. Scheduled to commence at 8 p.m. this evening, both nations are vying for a victory to secure a spot in the round of 16. Ghana, having suffered a 2-1 loss to Cape Verde and a 2-2 draw with Egypt, confronts Mozambique, who drew 2-2 with Egypt but faced a 3-0 defeat to Cape Verde. Now, despite the setback against Cape Verde, Black Stars head coach Chris Hughton warns against underestimating Mozambique, emphasizing the absence of easy games in the AFCON.
We are all aware that this is a situation that we would rather not be in. You know, we would rather have more points, and we feel certainly from the performance and the goals that we conceded that we should be in a better position, but we are not. So the conversation is not difficult. This is a game we have to win. The level of performance, I think the players and I think most people appreciate that the level of performance in our game against Egypt was better than our level of performance in our first game with Cape Verde. So the players know what it will take to get a result. There are no easy games in this tournament. And we will come up against a Mozambique team also knowing that they have to win the game. So we have to be physically and mentally prepared for this. And the players know this.
You heard Black Stars head coach Chris Hughton. Similarly, Mozambique head coach Chiquinho Conde echoes a caution sentiment in his pre-game presser.
Knowing that Ghana is Ghana and it's a giant in this African continent, so we need to respect them. However, we will not approach the match as a loser. We should continue to play as it was the last time we play. It should be considered as the finals. This will enable us to win the match, to change the mindset that we had during the previous game.
You heard Mozambique head coach Chiquinho Conde speaking through a translator. Now, let's go all the way to Abidjan and speak to our head of sports here at Citi FM, Citi TV, Benjamin Inketia, who has all the updates as far as tonight's game is concerned. Ben, what are chances? Many are awaiting this game tonight with dour spirits because of the performance of the Stars in the last two games. Really, do the Black Stars stand a chance in the upcoming game?
Of course they do stand a chance, and good afternoon to all our listeners. Going into this game, obviously, like you said, the spirits are not that high because Ghana hasn't started this tournament too well. And also, if you follow the little bit of history, this tournament sort of follows the pattern of the last competition. And so there's cautious optimism, and a lot of people are sort of heading their expectations. It's not a game where you're going to say the Black Stars are going to go all out and blow away the opponent. And so heading into this game, you heard Chiquinho Conde. He seems very confident. Some people seem to believe that his comments during the pre-game press conference all border on mind games. But, I mean, even within the mind games, you can tell that there's some substance to what he's been saying in the fact that the Black Stars really have not won an AFCON game in the last two tournaments. And so Ghana is not that confident in terms of getting a win. And he says they are looking to capitalize on that particular bad run of form. Also, he speaks about the fact that Ghana is weak in terms of performing as a team unit. And if you watched our opening two games, especially that game against Egypt, Ghana basically needed bits of individual brilliance from Kudus Mohammed to be able to rescue a point. Now, that type of game plan always presents a bit of a challenge because you're going into a game that can be an elimination. You want to be able to perform or have all the 11 players on the pitch play as vital a role as they possibly can. And so today's game will be dicey. It will be tension-packed. It will be action-packed as well. The Black Stars know what is ahead of them. For Chris Hughton, I believe that putting out a good starting lineup will be half his problem solved. If he does that, perhaps Ghana will be able to come out of this with something credible. I also want to talk about the fact that the national team as it stands now have had concentration issues. And if you've watched the past couple of games, in fact, even dating back to the World Cup, the Black Stars have a big issue with holding leads. Ghana goes up by a goal, and in 5 or 10 minutes, they throw the lead away. And so we've asked him about what he and his technical team are doing in terms of getting the national team to concentrate for 90 minutes and perhaps 110 minutes if that's how long the duration of the game will last. And
right.
So those are some of the few things that we've been picking up on. But all I can tell you is that this perhaps might be the most important game for the Black Stars in as long as I can remember.
That is not underestimated. But Ben, talk to us about the feel in the camp right now. We understand some players suffered some injuries during our game against Egypt. How is that unfolding, and will they be able to stand in our game against Mozambique?
Well, specifically, Majid Ashimero is who we're talking about. He picked up a knock, and the technical bench took him off as a precautionary measure. He's been examined by the team medics. If you want to go by what head coach Chris Hughton has been saying, he's been progressing well. He trained yesterday with the rest of the group and is very likely to start in today's game. As to if he's 100% fit, I'm not too sure about that, but he's such a key player that I think that the technical team will take him at 80% or 90% fitness as far as this game is concerned. And so minus him, the team definitely has a clean bill of health. All the guys are raring to go. There've been some Jama sessions to try and raise spirits. They've also been visited by legends, or yes, Black Stars legends, in the people of Willie Kluche and the likes of Reverend Osei Kofi, who were basically the last batch of Ghanaian players to win an African Cup of Nations, basically to share their experience with the team, to talk to them about how important it is to handle the pressure of a tournament like this. And so as far as all the off-the-pitch issues are concerned, I believe that the national team have checked all the boxes. Now it's time to check the boxes on the pitch. Tactics, team structure, intensity, and hopefully a strong mentality to be able to overcome our opponents, because Mozambique believe that having gotten a 2-2 draw against Egypt, they can eke something out of the Black Stars. And so it's that kind of game, really. The team have tried as much as possible to leave no stone unturned. We are also even picking up that there's some bumper financial package for the team should they qualify out to the group stage. The exact amount is a little up in the air. I've reached a couple of ministry and GFA officials, none of which have been able to confirm the amount that has been going around. And so for that matter, I'll just probably leave that off the table. But we know that that is in the mix as well. And so, I mean, there's no lack of motivation for the Black Stars to go and win this game. Hopefully, they can go out there and get the job done.
Right, Ben, but before I let you go, you were talking about checking all the boxes. In the camp, though, is everything all right? Because we've seen that a player has sort of deleted all Black Stars related items from his Instagram page, Daniel Amati to be specific. Is everything going on well?
Well, from what I can tell, everything is fine in camp. I personally do not like to read too much meaning into these things. And this is a question that was posed to head coach Chris Hughton. And basically, I would say that no player likes to be on the bench. And if you know Daniel Amate, he's played at the highest level, played in the Premier League with Leicester City, now plays in the Turkish league with one of the big sides in Besiktas. And so he would expect to start or at least play a part in Ghana's games, but that has not been the case. And from the answer that we got from Chris Hughton, Hughton says that he's spoken to Daniel Amate. He's had a word with him, and he believes that Amate is a wonderful professional. And so while he might not be able to start in this particular game, it's also the fact that he supports his teammates and whoever gets to start ahead of him. And so as far as team spirit is concerned, I believe that all is well. The guys are in good spirits. They know that this is not the time to be bickering about playing time or the lack of playing time. That is the type of thing you don't need, especially at this crucial moment. So from what I have seen, what I have observed at close quarters, all seems well with the national team. Everybody seems like they're on the same page and they are ready to go out there to do battle today.
All right. Thank you so much, Benjamin Nketia, speaking to us all the way from Abidjan ahead of Black Stars game against Mozambique this evening at 8 p.m. Benjamin is the head of sports here at Citi FM, Citi TV. But let's still stay with the sports team because I have Yahweh J. Minta here in studio who is going to talk about all the permutations that's been happening. There's a lot of calculations going on now about if this team scores is then Ghana. What's happening?
Well, it's down to the structure of the tournament. Back in the day when the AFCON had just 8 teams, you had 4 teams grouped in Group A, 4 teams grouped in Group B. So the top 2 teams qualified automatically to the semi-final. Then it went on from there. The winners moved on to the final. Then we progressed to having 16 teams in the AFCON. Then the dynamics changed a little bit. Then the dynamics changed even further when the competition was expanded to have 24 teams. And when you have 24 teams, that means you have 6 groups made up of 4 teams in each group. And the top 2 teams qualify automatically to the next round. So that will give you 12. 12 times 6 is 12. Right. But you have to get 16 teams at the round of 16. So that means you have 4 spots available or remaining to be filled. Mm-hmm. And you need the top 4 rank third place teams.
Okay.
And so if you end up as a third place team, the point tally that you have must be higher or better than the other teams in the other groups to give you a chance of qualifying to the next stage.
So where does Ghana stand now?
Ghana at this point in time, looking at the top 6 teams that are in position to qualify as the third best placed third teams, Ghana ranks 5th. And what that means is going into tonight's game, Ghana is on the outside when it comes to the teams that are in play to qualify to the next round. So the number 1 ranked team is Ivory Coast. In terms of the third place teams, Ivory Coast is number 1 based on points and goal difference. So they have 3 points and a goal difference of +1. Then you look at Namibia, they have 3 points, they rank 2nd. You look at Algeria, they have 2 points, they rank 3rd. Zambia 4th, they ranked. Zambia also has 2 points, they rank 4th. So those are the top 4 teams heading into tonight's game. Ghana ranks 5th because we have just 1 point.
So talk to us about. I'm sure our viewers will want to know about our commentary plan for tonight as far as the game is concerned.
Yes. So basically, Ghana needs to win by as many goals as possible. And the commentary tonight starts at 8 p.m. But the pre-game analysis and everything that is connected to the game will start at 7 p.m.
There you have it. Thank you so much, Yawaje Minta. On the Citi FM, Citi TV Sports Desk, you'd want to stay tuned to Citi FM and Citi TV for all the updates as far as this match is concerned. Now, before we'll take a quick breather here, but when we come back, we'll talk to you about the New Patriotic Party, which is going into primaries this Saturday, January 27. And the party has been cautioning some parliamentary candidates, aspirants against camping of delegates. Stay with us.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
The average human body mass should have at least 60% water for optimal performance in any physical or mental exercise. We can help you maintain it naturally.
Hi, my name is Stephen Appiah, the team coordinator of the Black Stars. I always like to keep hydrated naturally, every day, any day. S Natural Mineral Water does the trick.
Manufactured through a double purification process to produce pure, natural drinking water. X Natural Mineral Water. Simply natural. For bulk purchase, call 0596 273 546 or 0596 273 547. This advert is FDA approved.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
You're welcome back. Away from sports, let's do some politics. Now, some supporters of the New Patriotic Party, the NPP, in their cinemas who across the constituency in the Eastern region are threatening to allow one of the parliamentary aspirants to contest as an independent candidate in the general elections if the venue for voting this Saturday is not changed. The supporters argue that the NPP in the constituency has peacefully held all previous elections at the Akroso Presby School and alleged that the new venue at Akim Batabi is a ploy to favor the incumbent MP who resides a few meters away from the new venue. The supporters, clad in red and black apparel, poured onto the streets to register their displeasure over the change in voting centre, indicating their willingness to push for their candidate, Alex Osueje, to contest their Cinemansu across the constituency seat as an independent candidate.
We've always voted in Asene. All of a sudden, an announcement has been made that the venue for the voting has changed. Our problem is that the new location is close to the home of the Member of Parliament. We suspect the MP and some executives of the party are behind this change of venue. The party should stop intimidating aspirants.
Campaign. Say you started say you
Ever since we started voting, this has been the location for the polls. How come there's a sudden change in the venue? We do not understand this move. Some of the executives have connived and changed the venue.
You heard some NPP supporters in their Cinemanso across the constituency will stay with the party because it has issued a stern warning to aspirants who intend to bus or come delegates on voting day, urging them to abort the decision as the party warns of sanctions, announcing a raft of guidelines ahead of the January 27 parliamentary primaries. The party is also racing against time to settle all outstanding petitions that have been filed by some disgruntled party members on some concerns regarding the primaries. General Secretary of the party, Justin Frimpong Kodia, addressing journalists in Kumasi, also cautioned delegates to desist from displaying or using their phones to capture their ballots after voting. The party also announced that elections will be held in the Inshiaisa constituency following the discontinuation of a court case against the party by a polling station executive from the constituency.
The party has formulated these rules and regulations with the aim of ensuring free, fair, and transparent elections. And therefore, we are of the belief that everyone should be allowed to feel free to walk out from his house or her house to come to the polling center to cast his or her vote without any person influencing the said delegate. It's of this belief that we have made a statement that no one should come delegates at any place. Those who would take pictures of their vote, aside nullifying the vote, what's next? As I indicated, one, it is an offense to take picture of your vote. When it is done, one, your vote will be nullified and will be handed over to the Ghana police. It becomes a criminal matter. Then the Ghana Police Service will have to do directly review. In that case, the party cannot come in.
Now, the NPP General Secretary is also leading some party officials to the Menchia Palace in response to recent alleged comments by the party's Ashanti Regional Chairman Bernard Enchibo Siako, also known as Chairman Wuntumi, against the Asantehene. Justin Frimpong Kodia has also cautioned NPP supporters to desist from making public utterances that might be derogatory to the chieftaincy institution.
As a party, we have a history, we have a tradition, and we certainly have an ideology. We know where we came from as a party, from UGCC, NLM, UP, PP, PFP, and the New Patriotic Party. Our history has been shaped. Our history has been formed. Our history has been supported by Asantemai and the good people of Ashanti region. And as a party, we hold extreme, undiluted, absolute respect for Asantemai, particularly His Majesty, our King, and Nanano. So please, I will use this platform to caution the rank and file of our party to desist from making any commentary, any comments, or whether through the media, social media, platform, WhatsApp platforms, and whatever means of communication, to desist from making any sensitive comments regarding Nananum and particularly His Majesty and the party. The leadership of the party is in touch, is on the ground, and knows what to do to make sure that the respect in the region, the respect for our revered king is maintained, and the respect for Nananum and the respect for the good people of Ashanti remains intact. So this is a caution to our party members that no one from today has the right to go on radio to speak about sensitive matters, particularly that affects Menchia and Nananum, and that is the position of the party.
General Secretary of the NPP, Justin Frimpong Kodia. Charles, you still have some politics?
Yes, on the NPP and still in the Ashanti region, incumbent Member of Parliament for Mampong, Kweku Amprechum Sapong, is aiming for a third term. Undeterred by the challenge posed by former Ashanti Regional Youth Organizer Dennis Kwakwa, the Deputy Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration Minister remains confident as they prepare for a fierce contest on Saturday. Citi News' Ashanti Regional Correspondent Fatih Aminu Ibrahim has more details in the following report.
Mampong constituency, a stronghold of the New Patriotic Party in the Ashanti region, consistently draws attention during MPP parliamentary primaries. Notably, Francis Adenimo and Kweku Amprechum Sapong have been pivotal figures in recent years. Adenimo's victory in 2008 marked a shift from the incumbent MP, Peter Abum Sarkodie. Subsequently, Amprechum Sapong triumphed in 2015, successfully fending off Adenimo. As Amprechum Sapong faces recurring challenges from Adenimo, the upcoming MPP parliamentary primaries intensify, with Dennis Kwakwa, the former Ashanti Regional Youth Organizer, vying for delegate support. Constituents evaluate the aspirations of both candidates and anticipate developments in the region.
Looking at the analysis of elections in Mampong, when Amprechum took over, he actually maximized the vote when he took over.
Okay.
But during this last term,
okay,
you can go and check your archive that the vote dropped significantly. So it means that the popularity of Amprechum is coming down. So if Amprechum wants to retain the seat, then he has a lot of work to do. But if MPP want to retain the seat in Mampong, it means that they should also listen to those who vote, not only the delegates, but also listen to the voters on the ground,
okay,
and then listen to what they want.
Challenger Dennis Kwakwa, fueled by youthful exuberance and youth support, exudes confidence as he aims to unseat the incumbent MP.
I'm highly confident because it is the delegates who you hear sing praises at the background. They are the people who are going to make their choice on 27th. They are going to listen to the greater members in the constituency. And the constituency are calling for change. Every member in Mampong constituency is calling for change. Once we are only two people, the incumbent against myself, then it means that if the delegates are listening, then they are going to choose me. So I'm highly confident that they are going to give me that power. And when they give it to me, I'm going to represent the MPP keenly in the 2024 elections. And I believe at the end of the day, I'm going to increase the votes of the MPP Mampong constituency. I'm going to unite every member of the party to make sure that Mampong MPP becomes exemplary. So I'm highly confident. I know I'm going to win it for my party as well. The most significant thing is unity. Now we have a lot of fragments in Mampong. So many different groups, most of which are bitter. So one thing I'm bringing on board is how to encourage everybody to take part in the campaign that is ahead of us. Apart from that, Mampong constituency, as it stands today, has not got any office. We don't own a land for party office. And these are some of the facelifts that I'm going to give to the party. I'm going to spearhead job creating for the youth of all the constituencies in Mampong. And I believe that Mampong is now going to get a very hopeful candidate. Mampong is going to get a candidate who is going to win to become MP, who will represent the people well in Parliament, and also to spearhead development for the greater good of Mampong. I am a youth. I spearhead employment, a lot of it. Mampong people are highly interested in sports. Spearheading for us to get AstroTurf constructed, which is ongoing. A lot of these communities that need support, attending to specific community needs. These are some of the few things that we are doing. When I get the power and the resources come to my management, I'm going to do every single thing that to benefit every community and every individual in Mampo. And so I believe I'm on call. The delegates appreciate what I'm doing so far. And when I get the power, I'll do more.
Kweku Ampratun Sapom, the sitting MP, reassures Citi News of his optimism, undeterred in his pursuit of representing constituents for a third term.
I'm going to be confident because I have delivered. My people have trust in me. They sent me to Parliament to bring development and progress and to take care of their welfare and their needs. And I've done just that. And I've managed to put the constituency on the map of Ghana, the map of Africa, the map of the world. Now Mampo is known all over the place because I travel in the course of my work all over the country, representing the country, representing the president, representing my ministry. And whenever my name is mentioned, the constituency is mentioned. I have, in the last 7 years, I have facilitated more than 2,000 jobs for the youth. That alone is colossal. It's unprecedented. It's never happened in my constituency. There have been 4 MPs before me. They have been in office for 20 years. What I have managed to do, visible, checkable. The 4 MPs plus the 20 years they haven't done not even 1/8. 1/8 of what I've done. It is there. It's just to reassure them that the trust and the belief that they have in me, the delivery that I have given, is still very high. And I have the fire that is in me to do more is still burning. So I'm going to continue to serve my people for the trust and for believing in me and for lifting me and making me their representative. That alone is something for which I will never forget, and for which reason also I will continue doing my utmost best to make sure that Mampo continue to get the best from the government of Ghana and be on the map of the world.
Citi News' Ashanti regional correspondent Fatih Aminu Ibrahim filed that report.
Away from politics, now the Ghana Nurse and Midwife Trainees Association is urging the intervention of the Parliamentary Health Committee to address concerns regarding outstanding arrears. Despite engagements with the Health Ministry and other stakeholders, the association reports that the majority of its members are still owed over 2 years of arrears. President of the Ghana Nurse and Midwife Trainees Association, Pascal Adumbisa, emphasized the importance of the Parliamentary Health Committee in taking up the matter once it returns from recess.
Because we realized that we've seen the budget that was allocated for 2023 on allowances for trainees and midwives. The year has come to an end, and when you look at the disbursement, even with the financial clearances, the money was not paid. Until now we speak, we have not had any payment again. So, in our engagement, they assured us that Parliament was on recession, but in due time they will be returning back of the recession, and the various ministers in charge of that will be called to find out what actually the issue is, and also they will try their best possible to support in the resolving of the issue. Immediately they will return from the session, we expect them to do that, and we are not going to just relate and expecting, but I think that we would give them a reminder on the petition we submitted to facilitate the process.
Pascal Adumbisa is president of the Ghana Nurse and Midwife Trainees Association. Charles will take us to the Eastern region.
Yeah, there's some good coming from that region. Good news coming from that region. Water supply has been restored at 5 senior high schools in the Eastern region following a disconnection exercise by the Ghana Water Company Limited. The schools, initially disconnected in November 2023 due to indebtedness, experienced interruptions in academic activities. Students faced long queues and treks for water. The Ghana Education Service in the Eastern region intervened, pledging to clear outstanding debts. Current checks reveal that water supply has been restored in the affected senior high schools.
And from the Eastern region, let's bring you back to the Greater Accra region because the Abosu-Okai Spare Parts Dealers Association says it is actively engaging the Ghana Revenue Authority to reconsider its decision to enforce tax compliance through a monitoring task force in their shops. The association, which suspended its sit-down strike last year in protest of the GRA's initiative, is optimistic about a positive response from the ongoing discussions. Head of Communication for the association, Techiado, mentioned that they will provide a briefing to the media on the outcome of these engagements on February 15.
Concerning our demonstration, we call it, we suspended, I think last year, November, concerning the GRA manual implementation exercise, which is the compliance exercise the GRA was embarking on. Our association has taken a firm decision. We are taking in place 15th of this month. 15th of next month, we will gather the media to brief them.
That is Head of Communication for the Abosu-Okai Spare Parts Dealers Association, Techi Ado. And that's it for the Citi Prime News, which has been live from our studio at Adabraka in Accra. For more news, do visit citinewsroom.com. My name is Adjuatin Krama Domina, and I did this with
Charles Owusukumi.
Thank you so much for listening, but stay tuned for the afternoon's edition of the Citi Business News with Netelinete Echaho. Good afternoon.
City 97.3 Accra. Get the details. Every significant financial transaction, every market movement, and all the policies that affect your business. Citi Business News.